What's up guys? In this quick video, I'm gonna show you how I sharpen and export my images for Instagram. This is the most common question I've been getting lately about how I get my images so sharp on social media. In this video, I'm gonna show you my process from beginning to end on how I sharpen and how I export. So let's go over todo el pedo. Now the first step into getting a sharp image on Instagram is making sure that you get a sharp image in camera first. If I zoom in here 4:1, you'll notice that the eye is already tack sharp. I shot it at aperture 1.4 with the 85 Sigma and the Sony A7III. So that's already a great starting point. The only thing that I do in Lightroom is I'll adjust the sharpening amount, and I usually adjust it from anywhere from 40 to 60. It can go all the way up to 150, so don't start getting cute and getting this idea of, oh, I'm gonna crank it up to 150 and then post it. La cagué. 40 to 60 is usually pretty good. In this case, I used about 50, so I'm gonna put 50. And then also you can use the masking as well. I'm gonna zoom out here. And if you hold the Alt key, you'll see which edges are going to get sharpened. And you can use this to, see specific areas that you're gonna sharpen. In this case, I'll leave it around 71. And that was pretty much it for Lightroom. Those are the only two things I really adjust to get it sharp. Once I'm done in Lightroom and I've done my pre-edits and the sharpening technique that I just showed you, I then go into Photoshop, do my typical dodge and burn, frequency separation, and color grading. And at the very end, I specifically add sharpening to areas that I want to stand out. I am gonna be giving away this action that I've made. And basically it's an action that includes the high pass filter, and basically it just sets the blend mode overlay. I believe I set the high pass to 3.5 if I'm not mistaken. Yes, there it is. And what I'm gonna do with this is if I just zoom in, I know that I'm gonna want the eyes to be a little bit more sharper. And I'll get the brush tool, set it to white. I'll get a soft brush here and make sure the hardness is at 0. And depending on the size, that'll be up to you depending on the size of the eye. And I can brush and sharpen in areas that I want. Now I might go a little bit overboard right here just so you can kind of get the point across here. But here, I'm just doing the eyes, and then I typically like to go to the hair as well. Not the whole hair, but typically areas that are in the same plane as the eyes. So in other words, if the eyes are here, I'm not gonna sharpen something that's maybe about a foot away or a foot ahead. I'm gonna try to sharpen things that are in that plane of focus. So the hair is pretty close, so I'm gonna then sharpen and kind of just brush strokes right over, and you'll notice, if I click the eyeball here, this is the before and then the after. And what I like about this action that I've made is that I can still control it through opacity. So if I feel like it's too sharp, I can always just dial down and maybe put it at 70% or 50 or 40. It really just depends. Now it also depends if it's a full body shot, a medium shot, or a close-up. So keep all of those things in mind. Now, once I've finally added the sharpening to specific areas that I want to stand out, I'll then go into my history panel and I'll click this little button where it's gonna duplicate and make a new document for me. And when I've done that, I'll have a separate document. So I don't override my original. I love to keep my PSD files, and I don't wanna, accidentally flatten it and lose all the layers that I created. So I like to use that history button here. Once I've done that, then I'll go to layer and then flatten image so I can get everything kind of completely merged all at once. An important step when you're gonna do your final sharpening is to resize your image first and then do your sharpening. Don't sharpen your image and then resize because it's not gonna work the best. In this case, I'm gonna be showing you resizing and then the final sharpening. So if we go into image size, your longest side is gonna be 2048 pixels. So this is a portrait orientation photograph. So my height would be 2048. If I did a horizontal photo, a landscape orientation photo, then my width would be 2048. Once I've done that, I leave everything alone and I just make sure it's on pixels and I hit OK. I'll zoom back in. So now I've resized perfectly for Instagram. I'm gonna do my final sharpening. When I do that, I'll duplicate the layer. I just click and then drag it to this little paper icon, or you can press Command J or Control J. I'll then go to filter, I'll go to other, and then high pass. Now for the high pass, I usually do anything from 0.1, 0.2, or 0.3. Once again, it really depends if it's a full body, if it's a medium shot, or a close-up. In this case, I'll do 0.2. Now if you zoom in, you can see exactly what you're sharpening and so forth, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK. And then the blend mode that I use is I go to overlay. Once I've done that, my image is finally done. All the sharpening should be good to go. I'm gonna then flatten it one more time, layer, and then flatten image. And then this is how I save for the web. I actually don't save it as a JPEG, I save it actually as a PNG. So I'll go to File, I'll go to Export, Export As, and then I'll make sure that the format here is a PNG. Right here it says resample. I'm gonna click and choose Preserve Details. Make sure that your height is at 2048. Here it gives you a preview of how your file size is gonna be. So mine's gonna be 3.9 megabytes. Make sure that Convert to sRGB is clicked and you should be good to go. So if I hit Export All, you then can save your files and save it to wherever it needs to go. And that's pretty much it. That does it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and let me know if these techniques help your images look better on Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe because I got plenty of videos coming out soon. And I'll see you guys on the next one.